Hi, you guys. Welcome back to Racket City Yardstead. I maybe look a little bit silly today with my cowl on, but it's cold and I have a little bit of an earache and it helps. So I'm just going to look silly. But today we're expanding our horizons a little bit at my house. I've mentioned in the last couple of videos, we're cutting dairy out for a while and seeing how that goes. And honestly, I'm feeling better without the dairy in my diet. So unfortunately, I think that I might be saying goodbye to things like cheese from now on. But one of the things that we really miss is like creamy things. And so today we're actually going to try a coconut Thai soup. Um, and it has obviously the coconut in it, but it's got lime juice and broth and chicken. It sounds really, really good. But we've never made anything like this in our house before. So I went looking online for recipes with great reviews, and I thought I'd bring you guys along to try it out with me. Maybe it'll be something new you guys are interested in as well. So the first thing I need to do for this is get this half of a medium onion finely diced up, part of the paper there, and get it frying in a little bit of oil. Y'all, it might be cold today, but I am so excited. It is supposed to be in or near 60 for about the next week and a half, starting tomorrow. And I, for one, cannot wait. We'll put things like the cowl away. Hopefully my ear will feel better when it's warm again. All right. So I'm going to add this onion into our pot over about medium heat with just a little bit of oil, and we're going to get that sauteing. Then we'll move on to our ginger. If you guys have never peeled ginger before, you literally just can take a spoon and use it to just gently peel the skin away. We need about a teaspoon of fresh ginger for this soup, and so I might actually just need this one little knob of it. It calls for grating this up, so we're going to get the skin all removed, and then I'm going to grate it on my little grater right there. If we really like this soup, and there's a couple of other recipes I'm considering trying as well. One of my favorite YouTube channels, she will do like a bulk processing of ginger, and so she'll take the time to get it all cleaned up and then put it through her food processor and then make little pucks of ginger. And I think that would be great if we decide we really like this soup or anything else that calls for fresh ginger. Nice clean nub of ginger. I'm going to get all of the skin scraped to the side. Then we'll just grate it on our grater here. And like I said, I need about a teaspoon. All right, so that was easy. We've got a teaspoon of ginger there. And now that's most of the prep we have to do for this soup. Now that our ginger is all grated up, we're going to add that to our onion. We also need 3 cloves of garlic minced. I don't always pull it out, but I am going to use my garlic mincer tool today because I just think it'll make things easier. And we'll get it nice and finely minced. And then the last thing we need to add to this is some red curry paste. So I actually got my red curry paste at my local Asian store, and it is pretty spicy. And the recipe says that they use the Thai kitchen red curry paste, and it is not quite as spicy. So I think I'm actually going to half this a bit, which the recipe recommended, if you had a different curry paste that was hotter. So we're gonna go with 2 tablespoons, and we're just gonna fry this up for a little bit in the oil. A lot of those flavor compounds in the curry paste are fat soluble. And so their flavor will come out more cooking in the oil. My onions soaked that oil up, so I'm going to add just maybe a teaspoon more to make sure there's plenty of fat for that chili paste to cook in. This already smells really good with that fresh ginger and garlic and that red curry paste. Now that that's had just a little bit of time to cook, we're going to add 4 cups of chicken broth, 2 cups of water. We're going to add a can of coconut milk, a 13.5 fluid ounce can, and you want it to be whole milk or full fat, I think is what they call it for coconut milk. So I mentioned it was cold, so the fat is all solidified in the top of the can. Want to make sure we get all of that out of here. And then we're also going to add some lime juice. It calls for the juice of 1 fresh lime. I don't have a fresh lime, but I do have bottled lime juice that's really nice. So we're just going to add a couple tablespoons of that. I gave this a taste, and it does not taste too hot to me. So we're actually going to go ahead and add the rest of the chili paste. It's not fried in the oil, but I think it'll be okay. And this container is right at about the 4 tablespoons. So use up the whole thing of chili paste. Now that I've added that in, I'm just waiting for this pot to come to a boil. Smells so good. You know what? I'm just going to use the spoon I used for my ginger and give it a little taste. That red curry paste that I used, it has a nice heat level to it. It's not overly hot, but it's really nice. I don't know how to say this. Mazri red curry paste. Let me see, it opens from the bottom, but let's see if we can show you guys what it looks like. If you have a local Asian grocery store to you, there's so many amazing things that you can get there. I went specifically looking for wasabi powder because I needed one that didn't have corn in it. And I saw a brand on Amazon that had tapioca starch instead of cornstarch in it. And it was almost $7, I think, on Amazon. And they did have it at my local Asian store when I went in, and it was about half the price. So I not only got my curry powders and pastes and stuff there, but I also found that wasabi that I was looking for. Our soup has come to a boil, and so I'm going to add our last 2 ingredients that go in here for simmering. So I have 2 cups of shredded chicken, and then it calls for rice noodles, and it's talking about the more fine, flat rice noodles, the Asian noodles that you find. Like, I know if you just go to Walmart, Thai Kitchen is one of the brands that they have. I didn't really want to spend more money on something when I had these rice ramen noodles at home. And so I'm using these even though they're not super traditional, but they're not really going to affect the flavor of the soup at all. So I just thought it was worth using what I already had. And really now we're just waiting for our noodles to cook. So I find personal preference wise that these ramen rice noodles take longer to cook than the package says, at least to my doneness preferences. And so they're going to take about 7 minutes. And then we'll be able to eat our soup. But while we're waiting for them to cook, we need to chop up some herbs to mix in at the end. While our soup is finishing, we are gonna chop up some cilantro and some green onions to put in our soup. So it also called for basil, and I forgot to buy any, and I was just gonna use some of my freeze-dried basil, but I think I must have used it all because I can't find it. So it'll be okay with just these two, but just know it calls for basil. I'm not really sure where you would get it this time of year. Maybe at the Asian store, actually. There is specific basil that is Thai basil, so that would be a great option here. Its flavor is a little bit different than the traditional Italian basils that most of us in America are familiar with. But our soup is ready to add our herbs in and give it a try. So this is what our soup looks like, all cooked up. And we're gonna stir our herbs in. Isn't that pretty with that green against the red? Oh man, I can't wait to give this a try. It smells fantastic. I think we're gonna need tongs to get the noodles, and then we can use our spoon for ladling up all that yummy broth. I think let's just get more utensils dirty, shall we? I think we're gonna go with a ladle for getting some of this yummy broth out of here. Let's give it a try. Oh, it's so good. I think I've only had Thai soup once, and it had the coconut and the lime, and it was really good. I enjoyed it, but I never tried to make it myself before. This was really easy. It definitely has a kick to it, but delicious. And if your head's stuffy at all, that heat, it'll help. So I definitely think we would make this again. I think I might actually add a little bit more lime juice to it. I think it could use that. And it says you can add salt and pepper to it if you need to, but it's so flavorful, I don't really think that's necessary. So I am going to add just a splash more lime juice to my bowl here and see what I think. Yeah, I really like that with a little bit of extra lime. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, branching out a little bit with me. Let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this where we try something that's totally out of my wheelhouse, because I'm just trying to expand our palates and try some things that use ingredients we can have. And so I'm really happy with how this soup turned out. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.